Today I will explain the movie name. Girl Next. Part 1. 99% of people watched my video but did not subscribe to my channel. Please support me, sit back and relax, and don't forget to subscribe please. Using a mind-expanding substance, a couple creates the perfect all-American beauty for their esteemed clients. In Texas, a man prepares an instrument while a wounded blonde girl is bound behind him. She begs for forgiveness, promising to do better, but the man places duct tape over her mouth. He then takes a piece of equipment and inserts it between her legs, causing blood to splatter everywhere. One afternoon, Lorian parks her car, not knowing that Sheriff Maddox is taking photos of her as she walks to the grocery store. When she returns, a van suddenly stops, and two masked men take her away. Maddox follows them, and a woman watches the events from the surveillance footage. In a mansion, Heinrich instructs a blonde woman during her pictorial. He commands her to satisfy her man daily and do as she's told. The woman is then escorted into a black van. Meanwhile, Lorian wakes up, blindfolded and bound. As she struggles, Misha arrives with a syringe in her hand. She tells her not to fight back, and Lorian nervously asks if more victims are in the house. Misha simply says there's a cost for everything beautiful before sedating her. As Lorian struggles to keep awake, Misha admires her blonde hair and blue eyes, which she calls the best America has to offer. She notes that Lorian must make up for Heinrich's indulgence, which she can't blame him for since it's always the woman's fault. When Misha joins Heinrich later, he berates her for sampling their merchandise, which will diminish their value. Misha insists that she didn't touch Lorian, but Heinrich insults her. He points out that she makes the other women beautiful, yet doesn't make the same effort for herself. Tearfully she asks him why he married her, but he just orders her to get there next. Sophia is ready. After she leaves, Heinrich inhales a substance called aqua velva. This instantly puts him in a giddy mood, rambling about how they will soon understand what he means. That evening, Lorian wakes up and easily unshackles herself. She steps out and searches the other rooms, finding one where a girl with bleached blonde hair just smiles at her. Creeped out, Lorian steps away and finds an open window to climb out of. A woman named Charlotte tries to warn her, but Lorian jumps off the roof, breaking her ankle upon landing. Unfortunately, the couple immediately finds her. She asks if they'll kill her, but Heinrich assures her that they wouldn't. As Misha carries her away, Heinrich admires Lorian's beauty, making his wife jealous. While tending to her sprain, Misha warns that Lorian will be punished for what she did. Lorian accuses her of trafficking women, but Misha calls it creating beauty. She warns her that being curious won't help her, but being obedient will. When Misha leaves, the trapped woman cries out in despair. That same night, Lorian wakes up to see Charlotte on top of her. She pushes her off and demands who she is. Acting like a child, Charlotte says she's no one. Before leaving, she tries to follow her, but loses sight of her. Meanwhile, the couple drowns themselves in hallucinations. Heinrich takes an inhalant and sees a hovering clown-like face. He tells it that he'll survive and attain what the entity has. Heinrich then peeks into a dollhouse where dolls that look like them wave at him. The entity then accuses Heinrich of eating from the tree, so he'll become one of them. Heinrich simply replies that no one could stop his success. Suddenly, Misha pulls him to sit and pleasures him as he stares blankly at the ceiling. The following day, Lorian wakes up and finds one of her toes cut off. Charlotte creeps behind her, saying it's up to Heinrich whether she lives or gets sold. However, she compliments Lorian for not being like the others. She suggests that she should read the Bible, but Lorian tearfully refuses. Instead, Lorian asks her to get the car keys, but Charlotte hints that she's not acting out of her free will, otherwise she would have killed the couple already. Lorian asks who controls her, but Charlotte just warns that Heinrich will change her, so she suggests that Lorian should play along. Misha suddenly barges in and whips Charlotte. She later ties Charlotte up in the barn to punish her. Despite this, Charlotte taunts that Misha is only punishing her because she hates beautiful women. Misha warns her to leave Lorian alone since she might decrease her value. Charlotte points out that she's the one who cut off Lorian's toe, but Misha blames Charlotte for breaking the rules. Charlotte calls her a miserable woman, but Misha argues that she's a happily married woman. Hearing this, Charlotte hints that Heinrich wants her more than his wife. As Misha denies this, Charlotte teases that the Legion is tracking her as she's becoming one of them. Later Misha advises Lorian to do as she's told or she'll end up as pig food. Sensing a weak point in the woman, Lorian pretends to admire Heinrich. Misha grabs her, but Lorian reminds her not to harm the merchandise. That afternoon, Maddox arrives, demanding more products from Heinrich. Heinrich explains that the process isn't an exact science, so they can't just make the products. Maddox admits that they're still happy with the result, so he hands him a case of aqua velva. As a gift, Maddox then discreetly visits Lorian's room, waking her up by pressing on her injured foot. Lorian initially thinks he's there to help, but loses hope when he caresses her legs. Desperate, Lorian promises to cooperate if Maddox calls her boyfriend, but the sheriff reveals that her boyfriend was the one who set her up. Lorian cries as Maddox explains that her parents hired the best investigator to find her, but they all report back to him, making it worthless. He then forces himself onto her until she bites him in the face. Enraged, he punches her before cursing his way out of the house. Soon after, the couple announces that it's time to turn Lauren into a lovely woman before sedating her. In the lab, Lorian lies on a steel bed, while 5 mysterious individuals surround her. Heinrich then wakes her up, and explains that they injected her with a mind-expanding substance. He then shows her a blue card, and after confirming that she can recognize it, he forces her to watch violent and suggestive videos. The videos lull Lorian into mind control, and soon, she starts dancing. After a while, Misha fires a gun to make her stop. Lorian's eyes gaze emptily as Heinrich carries her back to the table and commands her to touch herself. She complies, and shares a moment with Heinrich, so Misha punches her out of jealousy. In his room, Heinrich hallucinates a woman telling him to do what they asked, because he knows what'll happen if he doesn't. In reality, however, the woman is a corpse on a chair. Meanwhile, Charlotte talks to an entity in the barn, which she calls the Power. She asks the entity to rule over her so it enters her body. The next day, Maddox arrives to deliver a new Sophia to a client. He praises Heinrich for making such great dolls, but Heinrich explains that they'll be increasing the prices as the costs have skyrocketed. Maddox points out that he produced less this month, thinking that the aqua velva clouds his judgment. In her room, Lorian sleeps. As Charlotte asks about her life, she says they can help each other, so Lorian opens up to her. Charlotte then tells her that Heinrich is under the entity's control, but Lorian thinks Heinrich loves her. She asks her if she's a friend, but Charlotte replies that she's not anything before slowly disappearing, revealing that Lorian was just hallucinating. Lorian then looks into the Bible and finds a sharp nail file. Later, the couple does electrotherapy on Lorian while Charlotte feels the same electrocution. During this, Lorian sees Charlotte in her dream, warning her not to go where they want her to go. However, Lorian starts to believe that her life before was a joke. She thinks she can't be programmed, but also can't return to her old life, as she pictures herself roaming the hallway. Lorian decides that everything is fake, and this game is much easier. In her mind, Lorian sees herself waking up at their feet uninjured. As she's driving, she sees another her, who lists down her old life revolving around work, her boyfriend parties, and vacations. As she tries to get into the inner circle, she then finds herself surrounded by masked mannequins, only to discover that the mannequins are dead women. Lorian also finds her dead body among them, so she wears a mask and blends in at the lab. Heinrich explains to Misha that he developed a technique to create a Sophia doll 20 years ago, and now they have perfected it through Lorian. In her mind, Lorian hears someone calling her Legion. When she turns, she finds the sadistic couple watching her. Part 1 end here. Thanks for watching.